Good afternoon, my name's Matt Poynton. I'm a Projects Officer with Untitled from the TUC, and today I'm with my colleague Adrian again, and we're going to be trying out another learning platform. And today's learning platform that we're going to try out is Openlearn from the Open University. So I'm now going to pass you over to Adrian, and he can tell you more about it.
Hello everyone, I'm Adrian Ryan, Project Officer for Untitled, and as Matt said, today we're going to have a look at Openlearn. Now, Openlearn is a great platform. It's run by the Open University, and there's loads of content, absolutely masses of content, but the content does vary. So one of the first things I used Openlearn for was many years ago when we were funding the Learning at Work Day event in Brighton, and we worked with GMB at the time to offer tours of the Royal Pavilion in Brighton, which is, as far as I know, it's the only palace that has a learning centre, and the learning centre is at the very top, so it's quite a trek to get to, but it was a really good centre. And one of the things that we organised was it's free to participants, but there was a donation made to the Royal Pavilion to do this. And what we actually done was we took local people from other unions, not just GMB, at a weekend, and some of the ULRs gave a free tour around the pavilion and showed people what the pavilion was like. Now, for me, whenever we do any work at all with unions promoting short sessions, what we always like to do is say there's some follow-on learning for people, and this was no different. So for me, the follow-on learning was the ideal place was to try and find some information on the Royal Pavilion. And ironically, looked at Openlearn, and there we go. There's a course on the Royal Pavilion. Not only that, we also gave a free quick read book from a local author as well. We managed to get some from Peter James at the time, a local author who's sold at least 16 million copies of his books worldwide. So he does sell some books. We gave out a quick read book, and also we had the tour, and then the follow-on was Openlearn. So if I just share the screen with you, I'll show you how we done it. So here we go. This is Openlearn, and as it says, free learning from the Open University. Now you can see when we look here, you've got free courses, subjects for study, for life, TV and radio, and as it says, there's over 1,000 free courses, interactive videos, and more. Now, when we just scroll down slowly, and you'll see here, straight away, we've got Openlearn IT updates. So there's some updates there for some of the software. The next thing is the free digital and numeracy courses to build your skills. And that is an article. So, and that's from the Department of Education. Now, Openlearn, there are some literacy and numeracy courses on there, and some of them you can actually print off the course material. So that's just, so if you're interested in English and maths, that's fine. Then when you look, and there you can see down the bottom, you can see it actually says article. If we go along to the next box, which is coping and isolation, time to think, it tells you underneath it's a free course and it's 6 hours. It can take up to 6 hours. Now, as with all courses, the timings are dependent on the speed you learn. And you're obviously not going to do it all in one hit, so it might be that you have to refresh when you go back in if you've been learning. So what I'm going to do is just show you some more down there. Look, there's the Spring Watch there, and it's a TV program. So you've got all these different things. Support net, and the far side is support network. Can you help someone in need? And that's an activity. So you can see it's not just about free courses. There's bits and pieces you can pick up and learn. So if I show you what I've done for the Royal Pavilion, so try not to make the same mistake I've made before. I've searched it earlier, as you can see, just to make sure the course is still on there. And then we enter the Royal Pavilion, and then we've got the course. I've got a choice of courses. Now with Openlearn, sometimes your search results look a bit confusing. You can get loads of information there. Now this here is all the same course, but what it's done the different modules. So you can see Royal Pavilion 5, acknowledgements, references, Royal Pavilion 8. The key is, look at the top one, and it says in the heading, in this free course. So that sounds like that's the beginning. It's telling you what this course involves. So if you click on that, it says free course. Now you'll also notice as well, it's saying 16 hours study. And it's also saying level 2 intermediate. Now, that is not the, this is where it gets a bit confusing with Open University and Openlearn, in that that is not a level 2 course as we understand it, level 2 maths, English, IT. It's their what they see as their levels. So don't be confused that this is pure, you know, if you're not a level 2 learner, for example, you're a level 1 English or level 1 maths, don't worry. It's not, doesn't mean this course is going to be at such a level, it's higher level than you. If you're entry level English maths, it's not, you know, obviously you with these courses, there is some reading material, so you do need a bit, you do need a certain level of English sort of reading skills to be able to do this. So what you see as well,
Can I mention something there about the levels?
Yeah.
Because actually, they confused me at first. When I saw them, I thought, oh, that's level 1, as you say, in our national qualifications framework. And I had a chat with a fellow from Openlearn once, and I said, why don't you match them up? I mean, surely that would make sense. And what it is of course, what we think of as level 1s and level 2s is a UK thing. And although, yes, the Open University is a UK institution, they have international students. People from all around the world come on this. And I believe that the levels they're using there are more in tune with international norms.
Oh, right.
Which is why it's a bit confusing. So, yeah, if you are in the UK, you know, don't expect it to be, you know, match up completely, because that can be quite confusing. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Matt. I mean, that is an interesting point, and I think it's where it says intermediate as well. It gives you, it's not just level 2; it's with intermediate as well. So you'd expect it to be not basic, beginner. It'll be sort of a little bit bridging, sort of between, you know, getting to a higher level. You can see as well.
University courses, aren't they?
Yeah.
Done,
So they're going to. They are, you know, very good quality standard course. You see, there's a free statement of participation on completion, so you can get that. But as we always say with statements of participation, most of the time when you do a statement of participation, it is that, it's not a qualification, it's not credits, because none of this is actually sat in test environments as you know it. So just be aware of that. But it's free. So hey, if you want to track what you've been learning, why not? Why not get your certificates? Why not be proud of what you're learning? So you can see it's 16 hours, level 2 intermediate. You can create accounts to get more. So you do need to create the account for the free statement of participation, because obviously it's going to put your name on there and things. So you need to just create an account. Very straightforward, just create an account. One tip when you're looking at online learning, I would suggest you have an email address set up just for learning. So if you're learning across different platforms, all your learning emails for different courses, different starts, everything else, statements, that all goes in one email. So it doesn't get lost in your general email, which will be full of other things that you're going to look at. You know, when you're learning, you've got your focus, you go to your learning email address, and then you can see what's coming up in your courses. So when you go down, you can see a picture of what is a fantastic building, the Royal Pavilion. And you've got a course description, so it tells you, you know, you're examining the Royal Pavilion, its relationship to 19th century Romanticism. And the Prince Regent George IV was responsible for expanding and building further. Well, he didn't do it personally, but he expanded the actual site. So if you've ever been to, well, if you've never been to the Royal Pavilion, it's a fantastic building inside, and it's a mixture, it's a split where they built different parts at different times, but it matches. So let's look at the course content. It then tells you the different levels, and when you said about the search earlier, this is where you'll see in the numbers that were next to them. So one at the Royal Pavilion, and course reviews. So you can see. Now, this was the last time this course was done, because it is a little bit of a niche course, really. When we promoted this, we sent details for this course out to everyone who attended the walks, and some people came back at the time and said it was really good and really interesting. So let's just go back to the course description. Let's have a look. Let's go in and see what it looks like. And this is where it sort of differs from the likes of FutureLearn. And it's it is very different, because Future Learn, you tend to have structured lessons and videos, and this is quite a few of the Openlearn tends to be the course material that relates to a bigger course, and I know Matt will come on to that later. So if we look at this, for example, you've got a bit of text there, and you'll read through the text, and it'll explain it to you. Now, this is where we get the first bit of learning. You get a PDF document to read, which is Xanadu, and that's Coleridge's poem Kubla Khan. So you basically read through, and then what you'll see is an exercise. So exercise 1, and again, it's reading the notes. Watch all the video clips, and there are videos, and I will click on one in a minute just to show you, but they're not particularly clear, but visually, but they are good, because they've got they're shot in the pavilion, a lot of them all around Brighton, and they're in period dress, and they are dressed as the court of the Prince Regent. So when we scroll down, you'll see, so the first, you can download the videos as well if you want, which may make the quality better. But let me just click on the first one just to run it. I won't run it for long, but let me just run.
Yeah, I mean, Adrian, the quality of the videos really isn't up to what you get on Coursera and FutureLearn, is it? And I think that's because a lot of these courses are much older. I think they put the materials on and they stay on for longer. And I noticed that recently, that, yeah, there are videos, but they're not as great quality as the other ones. And some of them do look rather dated these days.
Yeah, I mean, this would be dated anyway, Matt, because it's the Royal Pavilion back in the Prince Regent's times. It does look dated. But no, joking aside, yeah, they are dated. They are the quality. They're not shot. They're not shot in HD. Far from it.
Yeah.
And so when you watch them, it's better to watch them in the smaller version like they are there, rather than make the screen big. But you get the general essence of the course within it, so you actually get to listen to you. Certainly, the sound quality is good, even if the picture quality is a little bit on the poor side. But
I mean,
the content.
I've noticed there as well that on the Openlearn courses that I've done, there are videos, but they're far fewer than in FutureLearn, for example. But there's a lot of audio files. So if you're somebody who likes just listening to things, a lot of Openlearn courses are really, really good with the audio files, where they'll be interviewing people about the subject that's been discussed.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can get the transcripts of the videos as well, which is great, because you can download the transcripts if you prefer to read what they're talking about, rather than, if you really can't cope with such poor quality video. You know, now with all our new modern technology, that, you know, you can a telephone's got far better video capability than some of the things that they've used, some of them old camcorders that they used back in the day to record some of these sort of things. But when you look again, we just go down, just very quickly show you this again. Again, you've got a map, so you can see the map there of the pavilion, and this is on the ground floor. My memories, yep, the ground floor, because the long gallery, and you've got the kitchens, and then you'll do another. You'll do more, and what you'll see here is reveal discussion. So if it's been discussed, then you can whatever you sort of put in there, you can see what the suggested text should be, or what you should have included in your discussion document. So, you know, it's really quite a fairly basic course when you look at FutureLearn, as in what it looks like visually and what it feels like. Content-wise, I've worked through quite a bit of this. I've watched quite a bit of the videos, because when we promoted, I wanted to see that. I mean, it was some time ago. I have gone back to it since. This is the first time I've looked at it for probably about 12 months. But I do dip into it, because I do like, as I say, the pavilion is a building that I love visiting. In our normal times when we can visit, and the learning centre there was doing some fantastic work. So it was a bit of a personal interest for me as well. So I could put up with, you know, the fact that it's it's not as slick, it's not as smooth, it's not a Coursera, it's not a Future Learn, but what it is some fantastic learning material. And when you start working through something like this, you're learning all the time. Every time you go back, you can see something about a room, or you might have been told something on the tour by one of the reps, because for the pavilion itself, the tour is normally a handheld thing that you listen to, whereas when you've got someone with really good knowledge of it taking you around, you get far more out of that. So it's really interesting. So that's the course. That's why I used it. That's the first time I used it, and I thought it worked really well, and the feedback was good. But if you're expecting the bells and whistles of Future Learn and Coursera, you're not going to get it on here. However, there are more courses, articles, and videos and things on there and activities than Future Learn. So Matt, I'll get rid of this for you. So I'll just get a quick whistle stop tour of that. So stop sharing there, and now back over them. There we are. We're back together.
Okay, well, so now it's my turn, and what I've done, I was quite an active Openlearn user a few years ago, about three or 4 years ago, and I did quite a few Openlearn courses, and then I haven't touched it for a while, and I've been back during this lockdown, and I've had a look, and I've just completed a course on Openlearn. So I wanted to see, had it changed much, and if so, how had it changed? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen now and show you about where we are. So, okay, so there I am. I've got the same opening page that you had, and there's a couple of things I wanted to show you. And because one thing that's different from the screen you had is I created my profile because I've done the course. So you've got this button here up in the corner, My Openlearn Profile. And if I go on it, this is me on Openlearn. Now, one thing that we've not discussed so far is that Openlearn is from the Open University, as is FutureLearn. But FutureLearn, although they run it, lots of different other universities provide the platform, provide the material. And so FutureLearn doesn't demonstrate on the site itself that it's particularly connected to Open University, whereas Openlearn is very clear that, look, it's free learning from the Open University, it's got the Open University logo there. This is making it very clear where this is coming from, and that is because one of the main reasons behind it is, as well as providing free learning for people, they want people to come and do their courses. And like you said, a lot of these courses are quite niche, and there's a huge selection because they are often extracts from larger courses. So the fact is, you could do part of that course and then think, oh yeah, I like that, and sign up for a full course with the Open University. And that's good, but it also creates some problems. Where it creates a problem for me, because I actually did do, years ago, I did several creative writing courses, because that's an interest of mine, and liked them so much that I decided to sign up for the MA in creative writing from the Open University. I signed up for it through UnionLearn at the UnionLearn conference, and I passed it. There's the certificate up on the wall. And so I have this student home thing here. And the problem is, sometimes, like if you've done an OU course, sometimes it takes you directly to Student Home, and then it's very hard to get back to Openlearn. And of course, Student Home only tells you about my MA and the one I paid for. It doesn't tell you about my little Openlearn achievements. So if you are already an Open University customer, make sure that you do know that this Openlearn profile, that they have two profiles for you, your Openlearn one and your OU one, okay? And so there's me. I haven't really told them much about myself, but these are my achievements. And they don't list them in the order you've done them. They list them alphabetically. So you can see some of the kind of creative writing type ones. Start writing fiction that I did in 2017. And there was also writing what you know, and I think there's a screenwriting one or something somewhere. No, poetry. And I did those when I was thinking about doing the MA, and in the end I decided to do it. And what I absolutely loved about Openlearn, and I think was like, it's where it beat the other ones. Every course was free, and you got those statements of participation. Now, you are right that a statement of participation doesn't mean the course is accredited. But what it does mean, if I can get one to open, is you have these certificates, and it is thinking about.
It'll be open up. It'll be opening up on your top bar, Matt. You'll see as
Well, here's one. In fact, this is one I did for the course I've just done. So I've just done Starting with Psychology. It was a 5-hour course. And I love these certificates because, yes, they're not accredited, but they've got Open University. It's a respected brand, very clear at the top. As certificates, I think they're nice and clear. You know, there's my name. It tells what I did. It tells you when I did it. And then on the second sheet, and I actually get these printed off on card, you know, I mean, why not? And on the second sheet, it tells you what you studied. So if I wanted to go and, for example, do a degree or an A-level or something in psychology, I could let people know, well, I've done this already, and these are the subjects I've touched, as proof that I've actually been proactive and done some learning, and I can prove what it is I've learned. And I think they're amazing. I love these certificates, but they are, again, not technically certificates of achievement. They are statements of participation, and that's because, as you alluded to earlier, there was the I'm back on my profile now. That you do have those little exercises, but they're not under exam conditions. So you could just click through every page, and when you've clicked through every page, it says, "Yeah, you've done the whole course. There's your statement." You can cheat with this. You can't cheat with some of the other providers. But then it's not costing you anything, and why would you cheat? I mean, what's the point in doing that? It's like everything. What you put in is what you get out. And if you just click through every page, you're not putting anything in, and you're not going to get a lot out apart from that certificate. But if you do put a lot in, you can get a lot out. That said, one of my problems with it, and I'm going to go on the course I've just done. So here we are. This is the one I just did. Is that, we've already done these videos about Coursera and FutureLearn, and both of us have talked at great length about how great it is that you've got this conversation, you've got this dialogue with other students, you've got a dialogue also with educators on there, often professors and that. That, to me, is the big thing that I miss on Openlearn. There's no dialogue. It's me doing it. There's no real testing. Yeah, they give you activities, but how much you put into them, nobody's actually checking. It's far more passive. The others are very active platforms. And Duolingo, we've also talked about, very, very active. This is a far more passive platform. And you don't have that sense of community with it, and so you can't get involved in the debates like you can with the others. At least that's my finding. And so, yes, I've done this course, and I liked it, and I think the quality of the content was really good. But I did miss the the debate. So if I go on the quality of the content, this is what we've done. I'll just get up a page. This is about, it's obviously about psychology, but this is about the science of how brains work. That's good quality. That's university level quality, And I'm thinking, yeah, if I did a proper OU course that I'm paying for, that is accredited, if this is the quality of the material, I'm happy with it. And of course, if you do the proper course, you're going to be having that conversation. You are going to be having an educator there. But like I say, that is missing. And so I don't like it as much as those other sites for that reason.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Matt, when you look at this, I mean, it is a bit horses for courses, really. I mean, when you look at when you go through the courses, there's masses of them. The advantage of some of these are some of them have been put onto FutureLearn, and some of the make the FutureLearn course. But some of them courses are time bound, so you can only go on them at certain times and sign up, whereas they tend to be here all the time, or they are here all the time. But it's not the same experience. You're using the materials rather than the actual. You use the materials rather than the actual, working through the course with a tutor-led course. But despite that, I still think it's a fantastic platform. I still think it's a really useful platform to use. And let's face it, when we talk about costs, do a university course, go through Open University course, it costs a lot of money, and it's a time commitment and a financial commitment. So why would you not try before you buy, test, see if you like it? Because again, we say this through a lot of the things when we promote that. Actually, if it's free and it's online, then yeah, why not have a go? Because you don't lose out. If you're paying for something and it turns out to be not what you want or not what you expected, you've not only lost the expectation of doing a decent course, you've also lost a bit of cash as well. And I think that's key to a lot of the online platforms. But and therein lies another issue with the online platforms, in that it's not everyone's preferred learning style. So people say they lack motivation, they lack when they start a course, and that's why this platform, if you do think you're going to lack a bit of motivation, this platform will be harder to use than one of the other structured courses with timelines. How many hours a week, and when you've got to join in different discussions. I think they're more structured and we're probably more likely to motivate you to complete rather than sitting doing it in your time when you want to do, which is what Openlearn tends to be. It's more you've got to put commitment in. But then that's preparing you for if you go on to do a bigger course on Open University. You'll have that then. So I think that's why it's done like that. You've got to be prepared to be, be prepared to put the time in, prepared to put the effort in, and this is how you're going to learn to some extent. Although you will get tutor support and you will have peer groups and you will have support through that university if you paid for a course. But this is just giving you a bit of a taste of it, isn't it? Really, I think it's what it was designed really to encourage people back into higher education. That's what it's there for.
The higher up the learning tree you go, the less support you have. If you think about when you're at primary school, you're directed, you're very closely directed, and the teacher does everything for you. And by the time, if you're doing a doctorate, it's basically go away, find a subject, research it, and feedback. That's the learning journey we take from kind of dependence to independence. I think that's about all there is to say about it. My one point is to go back over what you said earlier. Yeah, when you're looking for courses, just check that they are courses, because there's a couple of times I've seen a search result and thought, oh great, yeah, there's a course on that, and then I open it up and it's a link to a TV program, or do be careful about it, because none of the other courses offer that, and other platforms offer that, and I think that it's good. I like the fact that they link to relevant TV programs and relevant articles, but they're not courses, and if you're not prepared for it, it can be a bit confusing.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that we probably covered it, and I do like the fact, Matt, you've panned your camera around so we can just see your Open University certificate just behind you in the corner. It's a nice touch for this session. So, I think as far as I'm concerned, I think my final words are: have a go, have a look round, find something you like, try it. If you don't like it, move on, try something, look for something else.
And we'll be back later trying different platforms, yeah?
Yeah, we'll do. Cheers, Matt.
Bye.